In Sundance, we usually find exactly one weird film a year goes to Sundance. It's almost like clockwork. There aren't multiple ones, there are almost always one. Last year it was Obex. Year
Mm.
before it was I Saw the TV Glow. One year it was Swiss Army Man.
Mandy, I think, also was a midnight screening at
I
Sundance.
That could be. I do not remember if Mandy played at Sundance or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Almost always one movie, weird movie, in their midnight. Well, the midnight section's fairly new, but that's it. So we're going to discuss what Giles, I'm putting Giles on the spot to see if he could locate at least one weird movie this year at Sundance. Giles, did you have any?
Yeah, I went through all 9 pages of what's showing. I'll give you a peek at my list here. You can
Okay.
see a
Uh,
couple little words in the upper left-hand corner there. I found one probable and one
okay.
maybe a distant maybe. The probable is Buddy.
Okay. Well, good job because that's the same one I came up with. I was going to get up the Sundance site, but I don't need to for this. I'm going to simply bring up a still of Buddy that I
Oh,
downloaded.
excellent. Is it?
Well, there's only one still in
Yeah, it's a good one though.
so I'm going to have to get Zoom to share that for us. Zoom, please allow me to share. Anyway, you want to describe what caught your eye about Buddy while I load up the still?
Yeah, well, if you go to festival.sundance.org, programs, films, they seem to have it arranged alphabetically with all the, time screening information, whether things are sold out, etc. And so going down, if you hitting the second page, I saw first thing listed under the sub-label Midnight, a an evening or twilight kind of arboreal scene, deep forest with strange, colorful plants growing along the forest floor and tall trees throughout, and just this great murky lighting effect. And standing upright, carrying a fireman's axe in this exotic, fantastical milieu is we'll say, anthropomorphic bipedal unicorn thing that looks quite a lot like a mascot suit gone shabby.
Uh, can you
And
see the image?
I can have the page up and I can see it. Yep, there it is
You can
on
see it
shared
on.
with you there, and that's eye-catching.
Yes. And so that was the image that got you. Did you notice anything else about the film?
I um, I did enjoy the succinct description. Lots of these movies have, two, three, or more sentences about this, some remarks from, the programmers or whatever.
Yes.
This one only had a brief plot. A brave girl and her friends must escape a kids' television show.
That's it. That description and this still is all we have to go on, except for one other thing.
There is the director's
Yes.
um, resume.
The director is Casper Kelly, who I am a big proponent of, and I'm happy to see he's make. They're calling this his debut film, which it really is not his debut feature, but it is his debut theatrical feature, since
Mm.
his other features only played on Adult Swim. Of course, you will know Casper Kelly from a distinguished resume, which first burst onto the scene with the viral short Too Many Cooks. Then he was tapped by Panos Cosmatos to
Mhm.
do the Cheddar Goblin sequence for Mandy. and then he did two movies, feature-length movies for Adult Swim Yule Log, and Adult Swim Yule Log 2, Return of the Yule Log. That's not really the subtitle, I just made that up. And now here he's coming out with this one. He also did a segment in the latest VHS franchise,
Nice.
which was the only good segment in that, only really good segment in that film. So here he is again. It has a very kind of Jim Henson look to it, especially the background, and of course the Muppet too. But
Yeah, it's a sort of a frowsy Jim Henson.
yeah,
Um,
we, we'll mention one more thing about the unicorn. Did you mention that his head is bandaged?
yeah, I didn't in the smaller image I was looking at on my machine, I hadn't quite gotten, but yes, the head is bandaged and the bulging eyeball thing. So this is I'm looking forward to this.
Also, his fur is kind of uh, matted or
Yeah,
mangy,
matted. He
or
could have mange, certainly blood of
yeah,
someone or something on it. Yeah,
blood colored.
this looks fun.
Yes, and besides, since it's Casper Kelly, there will be that premise, where it's it's so ironic. It's a kids show, but it's like the Muppets are killers, but it will go much much deeper and than that because he makes his movies where they continually morph with every time he thinks of a
Mhm.
new strange idea, he incorporates it into this rolling screenplay that gets stranger and stranger as it continues. Starts off with a strange premise and then ends up totally bonkers. Uh, Now, we have to, cross our fingers and hope that this will be as good as his previous work, but the fact that it made it to Sundance is probably
Mhm.
a very good sign. So, very excited about that one. All right, Giles, you said you had one that was a maybe.
Yeah, very
Let's,
distant, mid distant maybe. And this is I think on the second to last page per the alphabetical listing. The movie Wicker might be eccentric enough to be weird, maybe.
let us see if I can bring that up. Now, I do not have I didn't download a still for that one, so I'm going to just go to the Sundance page and try to do this with all these open windows on my
Yeah,
screen.
the single line about it, and again, even with these other ones, there's usually more information. But premieres Wicker. A fisherwoman asks a basket maker to weave her a husband.
Now, I that is one that I noticed. I did not see if we can bring up the still for. There's the still for Wicker.
Yeah.
Yes, not very. Do you want to describe it?
And it's dark interior. This is obviously a period piece. I'm going to guess maybe late 19th century or earlier. Middle-aged woman in good condition, especially, I guess, for lower income type that she is. And of course, it's Olivia Colman, which is very, meaningful for some people. And she's looking up with a mix of surprise and determination, maybe, at a shadowy figure that's off to the left. And she's, yes, drab green frock, hat, wicker hat, I guess, worth mentioning. So I'm wondering if in this scene she's making the deal with the weaver.
Perhaps. So yeah, kind of a old folk tale type of
Yeah.
premise described here as part fable, part historical comedy, and fully eccentric. Fully eccentric, of course, is the part that appeals to us. So yes, I agree. That is a more distant possibility. There's one more, Giles, that I didn't think you would find, although you could have because you love shorts.
Oh, see, I made a point to skip those
You
because I
skipped the
know,
shorts.
yeah, I saw that program, and so
It
that
is it's actually the one we're interested in is actually one that's featured here.
Okay.
Would you like to describe the still I've got?
Yeah, we got an apartment interior, I'm gonna guess. Probably a studio apartment, though I don't see any bed. And there are some perspective issues here. It's unclear how walls are working or how things are necessarily in relation to them. Um, and they're all told there's a bit of a sort of DIY spray painty feel to it that is something you might expect, say, in late 90s or early aughts kind of computer graphics, photo manipulation nonsense. And in the foreground, seated at a desk, I bet where the computer monitor that she might be looking into as her elbows rest on her keyboard there is a young woman with just over shoulder length hair, casual cuffed long sleeve shirt with some stripes, and her face is a little off, and her eyes are very off. In fact, it looks like they're upside down.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I hadn't thought of that, but perhaps that's it. This one is called Homemade Gatorade, and the plot is a woman embarks on a road trip to deliver her creamy homemade sports drink to a mysterious online buyer. That's pretty much all we know about this, but I was intrigued that they had a little interview with the maker in which
hmm.
she thanks Sundance for including something that is so weird in their program. Her name is Carter Amelia Davis, and out of curiosity, I looked her up, found her YouTube channel, and as of yesterday, Homemade Gatorade is actually available on her YouTube channel for you to view. I don't know
Ah,
if that's an oversight or if that's an agreement. Usually, they are not publicly available when they're
yeah.
screening at Sundance. This one was, at least yesterday when I checked it. So you can go and see Homemade Gatorade, and you will verify that it is indeed weird. And I bookmarked her site because a lot of her earlier shorts are very weird too. It is reminiscent, her work is reminiscent of David Firth of Salad Fingers,
Okay. Yep.
both in the animation style and in the sense of humor.
Hmm.
And but refreshingly, she doesn't get kind of as grotesque and sadistic as
Hmm.
Firth's skit. It's much, although it's doom laden, it's much lighter in tone and more comic. Very interesting stuff. Name again, Carter Amelia Davis. Thank you to Sundance for letting me find her. And we will feature some of her shorts that are publicly available on the site because
Hmm.
I did like her quite a bit. So that is that for Sundance.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else. I mean, there were some other minor things maybe that you say, maybe.
It's certainly not going to be weird, but it did seem an amusing premise. The documentary, The History of Concrete, looked promising for entertainment and informational value with its description. After attending a workshop on how to write and sell a Hallmark movie, filmmaker John Wilson tries to use the same formula to sell a documentary about concrete. And that's, not going to be weird, but does seem a little odd for a documentary genre thing. And also, I have a very good friend who knows a whole lot about concrete, so it's always been a word I've noticed. But yeah, other than that, a lot of very somber and bittersweet and melancholy and aspirational and etc. people dramas, as Sundance is
Yay.
wont to do.
It's a Sundance kind of thing. So yes, that's this year's Sundance. Hopefully we will be surprised and there's something that went totally under the radar. But if not, Buddy will be
Hmm.
something even if it gets bad reviews, we will
Yeah,
certainly
oh
want
yeah.
to